We're cracking down very big crackdowns, and this will give us the right to do it in a much more forceful manner. But they've taken birthright citizenship and they've made a joke out of it. I thought we were going to win it at the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, we had a bad decision, very unfair decision. Our country suffers because of it, and we're ending it a different way.
President Trump just made one of his biggest moves yet to end birthright tourism, while also taking the fight to birthright citizenship for a second time. Also, rhinos in Congress just gave President Trump exactly what he wanted, which is Todd Blanche as Attorney General. And a question that everyone is asking, where is Mitch McConnell? Let us get into it.
New executive orders on birth tourism and birthright citizenship. Now, back at the end of June, the Supreme Court ruled against his first push.
So remember what the Supreme Court did was say you can't have this sweeping executive order that says no birthright citizenship for people who were born here and their parents don't have the proper legal status. There were already exceptions to birthright citizenship, meaning children of foreign dignitaries, diplomats born in the U.S., they didn't have birthright citizenship. So one of these executive orders is trying to expand the definition of who would be ineligible for birthright citizenship. The other one is aimed at birth tourism, which, as you know, came up during the Supreme Court arguments.
So after the Supreme Court made that ruling, that disastrous ruling on birthright citizenship, to essentially uphold it and strike down President Trump's executive order, we now have the Trump administration moving to take the fight directly to birthright citizenship again and birthright tourism as well. Because what you have a whole bunch of folks that's coming to this country to exploit the American system and the 14th Amendment as well. And countries like China are adversaries. They're exploiting the system as well. And here we have President Trump on that very same matter. Watch this.
A very unfortunate decision in the Supreme Court concerning birthright. It was close, but a very, very unfortunate decision. So we're making adjustments because it's very unfair. This was done for a different reason. This was done right after the Civil War. This was for the babies of slaves. And what's happening now, people are building businesses around it. From wealthy people are building businesses around birthright citizenship. That's not the way it's supposed to work. It's a disgrace. They're buying their way in, and we're not going to let it happen.
I think America is the only country in the world that's allowing folks to break into the country, having children, and then those children are given American citizenship right away. And a lot of you guys might be asking, what is so different about this executive order, or these two executive orders, versus the one that the Supreme Court struck down? And this is Stephen Miller on that point. Watch this.
The president is using his authority as commander-in-chief to sign first an executive order using the new ruling the Supreme Court issued to expand the definitions of people who are ineligible for birthright citizenship. That includes, for example, alien enemies of the United States, members of foreign terrorist organizations, and large categories of people who lobby and act on behalf of foreign governments. And so with taking this action, it ensures that large numbers of people who wrongly would be getting birthright citizenship will no longer be eligible for those benefits. The second action that he's taking, which is especially historic, is for the first time ever in American history to ban birth tourism. So I want you to really let that sink in. This has been something that people have talked about not only for years, but for decades. The idea that people come here pretending to be a tourist, pretending to be a visitor, saying they want to go to Disneyland, or they want to go visit a monument or go to a national park, but the real reason they're here is to have a child, to make that child an automatic citizen, leave our country, and then have a U.S. citizen child. It gives them access under this broken system to welfare benefits, ultimately to the voting booth, and all the other rights and privileges that belong solely to Americans. So that practice of birth tourism is, as of the signing of this order, hereby banned.
That was Stephen Miller explaining how these two executive orders are different from the first executive order that the Supreme Court ruled against. And I don't know what Congress is doing. I think Congress should act right now to end birth tourism and a birthright citizenship as well. But I don't know exactly what is going on there, but something needs to change if you want to preserve the sanctity of this country. Let us move on to our next story. So over the past couple of weeks, we have had some rhinos holding up President Trump's agenda, specifically the nomination for Todd Blanche for Attorney General of the United States. And now we have one of those rhinos, Bill Cassidy, coming around to give President Trump exactly what he wanted, to vote for Todd Blanche, and Bill Cassidy may be the deciding vote to confirm Todd Blanche in the Senate. Watch this reporting.
Probably means that Todd Blanche is going to be confirmed maybe even later today as the next Attorney General. As I always say, it's about the math. Once we learned here that Susan Collins a couple of days ago was a no and Lisa Murkowski was a no, it was down to one more Republican senator. Now, Mitch McConnell, the former Senate Majority Leader, he appears back in Washington right now, but he is not voting. And so, it's up to Bill Cassidy. He was the one person who, as he indicated in his floor speech, had been having these conversations, including just before this floor speech this morning with Todd Blanche, and indicated today in that emotional speech that he will vote yes. So by my calculation here, if there's no Democrats who change here and there's no Republicans who, change their position, the vote, when they have it, should be 50 to 49, with Mitch McConnell being out, with all Democrats, 2 Republicans voting no, Collins and Murkowski.
So clearly, you still have rhinos that's voting against this nomination, which I think is a good nomination, like Murkowski, and President Trump actually made a comment on her. But before we take a look at that, here we have Bill Cassidy when he confirmed that he'll actually be voting for Todd Blanche, after weeks of holding up Blanche's nomination in his committee along with his rhino buddy, Tom Tillis. Watch this.
Mr. Blanche is not perfect, and he will tell you this. But the choice is not between perfection and Mr. Blanche. It is between Mr. Blanche and another acting Attorney General. This puts at risk the progress made fighting violent crime, human and drug trafficking, and fraud. And this does not serve the American people well. This is not a referendum on President Trump. It is a decision regarding Mr. Blanche in very specific circumstances. All considered, I will vote for Mr. Blanche. I'll be criticized for this vote. What's new?
As things stands right now, Todd Blanche has 50 votes versus the 49 votes opposing his nomination. And Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins were 2 Republicans that voted against this nomination.
Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski says she will oppose Todd Blanche's nomination, endangering his confirmation for Attorney General on a permanent basis. Murkowski says, quote, "The country needs an Attorney General who will check the worst impulses of this administration. I hope Mr. Blanche is able to achieve that if confirmed, but I simply do not have confidence that will be the case."
My issue is with Lisa Murkowski, the senator from up there in Alaska, because it seems as if she's against everything when it comes to the president's agenda and actually making sure Americans are taken care of. Because for one, she's against the Save America Act. She's against the nomination for Todd Blanche. And here we have President Trump calling her out for the rhino that she is. Watch this.
I wonder if you feel any, because a lot of these people who are against him, who have given you trouble on him, are people you endorsed against, right? I mean, you have Cornyn, Cassidy, Murkowski, you kind of
essentially
slag. Yes. Right. So
Murkowski, I was against.
Yeah.
I'm against Murkowski. I think I do more for Alaska than any president in history. No president's done for Alaska what I've done. She's not good.
Do you regret going against these people? It makes your agenda harder to get through.
Look, I don't regret it. You do what you have to do.
Yeah.
I just hope that Lisa Murkowski is primaried, because I think she's been in the Senate since 2003, and she's basically doing nothing at this point. But let us move on to our next story.
Republican Senator Mitch McConnell says he's been discharged from a rehabilitation center where he's been recovering from a fall in mid-June. In a statement, the 84-year-old said he's heading home and would continue to engage with my staff and colleagues on important Senate business, though he did not provide a timeline on returning to the Senate. McConnell's extended absence from Washington has led to calls for transparency about his health status.
So a lot of folks been asking, where's Mitch McConnell? Because he disappeared for a couple of months where they claimed that he was in the hospital, but no one saw him. No one saw any sign that he was good. There was a picture posted on the internet of him holding up a newspaper, but that was it. But now there are reports claiming that he's out of the hospital, and no one still hasn't seen him. For instance, we have his senior communication advisor running from the camera when asked about Mitch McConnell. Watch this.
David, can you tell us why Senator McConnell hasn't put out a video yet? What's going on with the situation?
So that was one of Mitch McConnell's senior advisor, and it's reported that this guy's making over $224,000 a year, and he's the senior advisor for communications, David Pop, and he's running from the camera. And here we have the congressional physician as well that reportedly went to go see Mitch McConnell, and they still cannot give the American people or the people of Kentucky an update as to what's going on with this senator. Watch this.
Hello. Is there anything that you can tell us about Senator Mitch McConnell, please?
Nothing to say, thank you.
Nothing at all?
Nothing at all, thank you. Have a good night.
Isn't he home right now? He said he was being brought home.
Good night,
He left rehab.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say, thank you. Have a good night. Stay dry, so it'll be thunderstorm. A beautiful sunset, you should come back.
It is beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
There's something strange going on, especially when you look at the fact that everyone around Mitch McConnell, they're running from the camera. No one can provide an update as to exactly what is going on, other than a well-crafted statement that was written by ChatGPT. And that brings us to the end of this video. Please let me know what you think in the comment section below in regards to President Trump's latest move on birth, tourism, and birthright citizenship. Also, please consider liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching all the way to the end.